Hello everybody. We are here to talk about the final document that I have to do to catch up on all the documents that were filed during my bar exam crunch time period of time. Hey Eric93. Hey Brad C 2012. Laura Croft Online. How y'all doing? So we're going to read the last document that was filed while I was on my bar exam hiatus. And once we finish with this one, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be actually caught up. This one is Declaration of Geraldine. Hey, Free Britney LA. Hey, Kevin. This one is the Declaration of Geraldine Wyle. And it looks like it is going to be pertaining to why they're e-filing James's response to petition for order associating counsel or whatever. The last document that we did read was this document. It was the last document we read was Sam Ingham's response to Jamie's response to a petition for order associating Loeb and Loeb, remember that litigation counsel? It's kind of confusing because Jamie was supposed to file what's called objections, and instead he filed like a response. And it seems like Geraldine and Gerald, who are Jamie Spears' lawyers, are like on purpose kind of like not calling documents the things that they're supposed to be called in order to leave open their possibility of litigating or taking some of these questions to trial. So this is perhaps one of those reasons. So I have not read this document, and it does seem like it's pretty long, so let's get started now, and then that should be, catching us up. So we make it a little bigger. Okay, so this is called a declaration, and it is usually filed by someone who wants to make their statements be admissible as evidence in court. So if you just say something outside of court, a lot of times that's going to be considered hearsay, which is not admissible unless there's some kind of an exception that will let it in. But if you make a statement under oath, then that is no longer hearsay. That is instead called a declaration or an affidavit or something like that, and it is admissible evidence. Okay. So, Geraldine Wyle declares the following. She's an attorney licensed to practice before all of the courts in the state of California. Nothing, exciting there. She's a partner at Freeman and Smiley. I have a question. Eric, 93. So, since it was a response, will it not be considered an objection? Eric, that's a good question. It's going to come down to Judge Penny. If she's going to be a stickler about it, she may say, look, you didn't object, so there's no objection, nothing to rule on, However, if she's not a stickler and she says, y'all called it the wrong thing, but that's fine, I'm going to take that to be objections anyway, then it will be admissible and she'll let it. But ultimately, I think it's going to be up to the judge. So Geraldine Wyle says she has personal knowledge of the facts set forth in the declaration, and if she is called as a witness, she could and would competently testify to such facts under oath. Now that's a big deal because usually lawyers are not going to be called as witnesses in trials that they are, supposed to be, that they're supposed to be participating in as a lawyer. It does happen sometimes. Sometimes it has to happen, but it creates what's called a conflict of interest. And the conflict of interest could make it hard for Geraldine to be called as a witness and also, still adequately represent the parties in the case. So we'll see how that goes. It's cute that they started with number 1 this time. Good for them. Number 2, they submitted for filing a response to, Sam Ingham's petition for an order from the judge, which would allow them to hire Loeb and Loeb. So she said, we submitted that, response, which was supposed to be objections, as according to Sam Ingham, on Friday, October 2nd, pursuant to this court's minute order. However, on October 5th, We were informed that the filing was rejected. Ooh, why? We immediately resubmitted the response for electronic filing, which was accepted. She's saying she submits this declaration to explain the events leading to the rejection of their submission. Okay, so basically what happened was I'm sorry, I'm in my bed, like just cuddling up. The weather is horrible here in the Northeast. We're getting like leftovers from that storm, I think. So basically what had happened was their original document that they had tried to file on October 2nd got denied on October 5th. And she's about to tell the judge what all had happened to try to get, her document accepted, I suppose. Okay. And she's requesting that the court accept the response, even though it was filed later than it was supposed to be. On October 2nd, she instructed the assistant in her department to e-file Jamie's response that was supposed to be objections, and to pay the $435 filing fee that is required. That is really expensive. She said she spoke by telephone with the assistant, and she was in the process of submitting Mr. Spears, that's Jamie's response. Let's see, I spoke with her to ensure that she directed our e-filing service to pay the $435 fee. So you'll sometimes use an e-filing service. It's kind of like just a third party, and they will make sure all of your stuff is filed and you'll pay them a fee. But you have to also pay them the actual filing fee with the court, which in this case was $435. She said she specifically instructed the assistant to do so. And while she was speaking, she is throwing this poor assistant under the bus. Okay, Free Britney Peru. I don't know. I don't understand your question. Are you asking which file are we reading, or which file is Geraldine referring to? The one that we're reading is called A Declaration by Geraldine. The purpose of this declaration is for her to, basically they missed a deadline that they were supposed to respond to Sam Ingham's request to get new lawyers, right? Remember how they're going to hire those Loeb and Loeb lawyers? So Sam Ingham is supposed to, Jamie Spears was supposed to respond or object to that by October 2nd. Long story short, they filed it on October 2nd. It got rejected. And now Geraldine wants an extension and still wants the document to be accepted. And it was accepted because we have been able to read it. So we know what the outcome of this was anyway. But this is just, for thoroughness and completeness, we are going to read this in case there's any, little nuggets in here. So she's throwing the assistant under the bus right now. She's saying she told the assistant to, instruct their third party filing agency to pay or to pay the fee to that third party filing agency. And she confirmed that she had checked the appropriate box to accomplish that payment of the filing fee before she submitted the response. So obviously if you don't give the payment for, filing, your filing is going to be rejected. And I am anticipating that the assistant messed up. The submission, which means, the assistant actually submitting this court to the document, was made before 4:00 p.m. on October 2nd, and all the lawyers were served electronically with that response at 3:59 on October 2nd. All other service was accomplished by mail that day, so she sent it by email to the lawyers, and then everybody else who has to get it, like Jamie Lynn and Britney's kids and all those other folks, they got it by regular mail. And then she said a true copy of the email is attached as Exhibit 1. Okay, so then she says on Friday, October 2nd, which was the original deadline, we were notified that the e-filing platform for the LA Superior Court was going to be shut down from 6 o'clock to 11:00 p.m. And now she's saying because of that delay, they did not receive any notice from the court as to the status of their filing. So they waited till the end of the day to make their filing at the very last second, literally the very last minute. And she's mad because the court system wanted to do something from 6 to 11. But if she filed it at 4, I don't understand how something that happened 2 hours later had anything to do with that. Then she says on October 5th, she was notified by the court that, it was rejected, that the response that she had tried to file for Jamie Spears was rejected. And the reason it was rejected was because she had not paid the filing fee. They must be pretty broke over there. Then she says her office immediately resubmitted that response and received a conformed copy. I don't know, I guess that means updated copy or whatever, dated October 5th. But if you'll remember, that was past the deadline. Geraldine says she requests that the response be accepted because all of the lawyers and the parties were served timely with the response, and because the rejected filing was a mishap that was excusable under all the circumstances. I don't know if it was excusable. That seems pretty conclusory. She didn't really tell me why it was excusable. She should have made sure that she wasn't doing everything at the last second. She should have made sure that her assistant, she has a job. Like, Geraldine has a responsibility to make sure that the people who are working under her don't make material mistakes. So this is a very conclusory statement that she says. It was a mishap and it was excusable under all the circumstances. I wonder if Sam Ingham had done that, if she would found it excusable. What do y'all think? I declare under penalty of perjury that I'm telling the truth. Okay, so that's a pretty short document. Okay, here's Exhibit 1. Here's the email. So this was sent October 2nd, 3:59 p.m. to Sam Ingham and Jody Montgomery. I don't know who Lori Ann is. I don't know who G. Jones is. Yasha, I know, is one of, oh my Lord. No, we're not going to be emailing her. Oh my God, hold on. I don't need everybody and their mama seeing all right. Lord have mercy. Yasha is definitely one of Lynn's lawyers. I don't know who Kimberly Grant is, but they say, sent on behalf of Geraldine. Here are the documents that were allegedly included. It was Jamie's response to the petition for order associating counsel. We read over this document 2 Instagram live videos ago. Then notice of withdrawal of petition. Remember that notice where they pulled back Andrew Wallet's nomination? That one was included here. And then Andrew Wallet consenting to his nomination being pulled back was another document that they had filed. Look at this tacky, oh my word, this tacky, oh Lord, here's y'all, they put the poor, Colleen Reed Rose must have been the one who messed it up. They put this poor girl under the bus. Okay, and then this is actually, okay, thanks, Kevin. Lori Ann is Jody's lawyer, and Gladstone Jones is Lynn's lawyer. Right. Okay, I remember that now. The email signature is so ugly. I know, Leanne. So now the only things that are attached here, I thought this document was super long. It's actually only 2 pages. The reason it looks long is because it has attached all of those documents that were allegedly supposed to be filed on October 2nd, but didn't all get filed. This one is the one that didn't get filed on October 2nd. It didn't get filed until October 5th. We already read this, so we're not going to be doing this again. So I guess we can just do questions now. Any good boss takes responsibility for their team. Yeah, I agree, Yasmin. So let's see who these lawyers are again. So we have, G. Jones. Okay, yes, that is Lynn's attorney. This is Lynn's attorney. Kevin, what about Kimberly Grant? Oh, Kimberly Grant. Is she like the what is it called? The probate investigator or whatever? So basically, all of this, the purpose of all of this document, I guess, was just, they were late because I don't know, this person could be however old, the assistant allegedly didn't include the filing fee, and so they were late. By they, I mean Jamie's lawyers were late in filing a document, and they had to basically submit this and explain themselves as to why they were late. Okay, cool. Leanne, Kimberly Grant is the court reporter. Okay, thanks. Who are Lynn's lawyers? She has a few lawyers. Let me see. There's like a service of process thing here. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's like a service of process list here that you can see. So we have Sam Ingham, who's Britney Spears' lawyer. We have Lorianne Wright, who is Jody Montgomery's lawyer, and she is the temporary conservator of the person. And then we have Gladstone Jones, who is attorney for Lynn Spears. Then we also have Yasha Bronstein, who is also an attorney for Lynn Spears. Kimberly Grant is the probate investigator. I don't know if she's a lawyer or not. We also have sent it to Lynn Spears, Jamie Lynn Watson, whose last name I guess is not Spears, Jaden and Sean Preston, who are Britney's kids. So those are her lawyers, Eric, 93. So is Lynn openly going against Jamie now? It seems like she is, for everything I can see. And like, I mean, I haven't been in the court hearings that Kevin and Leanne have. I would be interested to hear, their insights on this, but it does seem like Lynn is openly going against Jamie right now. Eric 93, they will determine if Britney can hire a team of litigation lawyers to fight her dad. Yes. Kevin, Jones, and Swanson are Lynn's lawyers. So what's happening tomorrow? They are allegedly determining whether Britney can hire those lawyers, but I have a feeling that that's also going to get pushed back until November 10th, or at least until an evidentiary hearing can be had. I do not think that Judge Penny is going to allow a 4 to 6 week meet and confer period, because I think that Sam made a pretty strong argument that that's going to be pointless. So it may get pushed back to November, her decision on this, but I don't think it'll be pushed back like 4 to 6 weeks. Is this the law firm that is also responsible for all those typos? Yeah, this is the same law firm. Yes. Leanne said she loves how they redacted their email addresses, but they're included above. Oh my God, good point. Damn, am I too late? Yeah. Math Math Carmignani. Yeah, you missed us reading the document. However, this will be on Instagram Live or Instagram TV, and you'll be able to watch it, IGTV. So many things being pushed back to November 10th. All this needs to be brought up more often on the news. I agree, Jessie J. Why can't Sam Ingham price that this was originally done illegally? Wouldn't the seizure be void? Well, I mean, I think Sam is kind of walking on thin ice, right? Because technically he was sitting around here and like letting a lot of this stuff go on for 12 years. So he can't just be like, oh, this whole thing was fraudulent from the beginning, because then he would kind of have to admit that he was, missing it. And then he would have to be on the defense to defend himself and say like there was reason for him to do that, which I don't think he'll be able to do. Yeah, exactly. Free Britney LA. Much more concise and efficient answer. I agree. That would implicate him. I agree, Eric 93. It's going to be one hell of a court date. Why can't Sam Ingham... Oh, no, I already answered that. Okay, yeah, I'm asked. Okay. Let's see. Do I have any questions here? What's this mean? Okay. No Q&A questions. Nope. All right, so many things being pushed to November 10th. And honestly, I don't even think all this stuff's going to be able to be decided on November 10th. Like, unless Judge Penny already just has her mind made up. I know, I saw Fox News supporting Britney. It's so crazy because it's like, there's this saying, like, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So it's like, sometimes you can have these, like, crazy news sources or, like, fake news sources, even TMZ or whatever. Sometimes they, like, come out in favor of Britney, and it's like, well, I guess, if they're right on this thing. I know, Leanne, I would really love to come to LA for the 11/10 hearing, but there's 2 issues. First issue, it's a pandemic and all of that, and I'm scared to be on a plane. But more important issue, it's like $500 a ticket at this point. I waited too late to get a ticket. It's like so expensive. Sam at the very least should have it ready to go. Yeah, I agree. Original Cat Lady. That's a cute name. Is it possible that he didn't do anything because Britney never explicitly asked, but maybe now she feels able to do with the RO her dad has against her? Yeah. That is possible. And a lot of people do have that as a theory. They're saying, like, listen, even if we give Sam the whole benefit of the doubt, like, what does that look like? Well, if we give him the benefit of the doubt, Britney did not want to fight this. And it wasn't until, last year when her dad went apeshit and beat her kid, or allegedly whatever he did, to get that restraining order, she finally was like, you know what, I have enough leverage now with this restraining order to start trying to fight back. And that is a theory that I have heard. That lady was on fire defending Britney. Yeah, if y'all want to see the Fox Business segment, I did share it from someone. Sorry, I can't think of who it is right now, but you will be able to see it if you go to my Instagram story from today. I reshared it. If enough people are talking about it, they are forced to acknowledge. Keep spreading awareness. I agree, Sarah Ann Mock. Fox News did a great segment on this. Yep, and if you want to see it, you can go to my story. Saw it on another Britney account. Yeah, a lot of people have shared it. Let's crowdfund BJ's fight. Yeah, Lisa, I can't believe it was on Fox News. I'm so surprised by that. That's what we were just talking about. Well, if y'all crowdfund my ticket, we have to crowdfund. I forgot what I was just saying because my boyfriend walked in. So that's how I'm doing. Hi, everyone. Love you. Lisa, I'm so happy you're here. I always get like super fangirly when Lisa comes on my lives and when Billy B comes. I'm like, oh my God, hey. She didn't hit all the talking points, but she was on fire. Yeah, Violet. I'm probably going to go watch it again even. Yes, we saw. Lisa, hey, let's be Britney LA. Okay, let's see. Did you see? We'll be with them virtually. Yeah, if I can't make it to LA, then I will... then I will try to make it at least to the Free Britney New York rally, or I'll definitely be watching the LA rally virtually if I'm unable to make it, which I probably will be unable to make it. Jessie J, you're one of my only hopes to be updated on Britney. Oh man, no, if I'm one of your only hopes, you need to follow Meaner03, MEANER03 on Instagram, and Lawyers for Britney, because all of this, and Leanne Simmons, because all of these documents I get from them. Lisa helped me understand that no conservator has the right to take Britney's phone. Yes, Lisa is helping us understand so much about like how these proceedings go, and also like what to expect and not to expect. And so far, her predictions have been really spot on. She works actually in this same court system, right, as this case is going on in. Not on Britney's case in particular, but she has worked with some of the folks associated with Britney's case and stuff like that too. Lisa, you are so wonderful. Love your post, so informative. So what will happen tomorrow? Okay, Lisa says, I think Judge Penny will punt and wait to see if James files objections to the Bessemer petition. Okay, so what Lisa is saying is, we're gonna kick the can down the road again, most likely, just to give Jamie Spears more time to decide whether or not he wants to file an official objection. Because remember at the very beginning of the video, if you were here then, we talked about the fact that he's only kind of like filed a response or something. Like, oh, no, I'm getting two things confused. It happens even to me. Scratch all that I just said. So what Lisa is saying is, James has the opportunity, or should have had the opportunity, or did have the opportunity to file objections to Britney's and Len's nomination of Bessemer Trust. He has not done so yet. So it seems like Lisa is suggesting that Judge Penny may give him more time in order to do that. So she won't decide tomorrow on whether or not to appoint Loeb and Loeb. No one has the right to take away the phone, Lisa said, but it's true you lay these out the general public because we don't understand, so I love when you do this. Thank you, Brad. Lisa says that she has known this judge and these lawyers for over 20 years. And, okay, so that gives you some idea of, like, Lisa's expertise here. I always default to her. And she's saying, okay, he will object on the basis that there is a vacancy, or there's no vacancy. Okay. So, okay, Lisa's prediction. Lisa, again, is a lawyer who's been working with these, a lot of these same players in this case for 20 years. Lisa's saying that she predicts, and this is just a prediction, that Jamie will object to the Bessemer Trust petition on the basis that there is no vacancy, there is no open spot for Bessemer to come in, which is silly because they were just now trying to get Andrew Wallet to come in as a co-conservator. So that just goes to show that when they want to create a vacancy, they sure can. But whenever they want to keep Britney's choice out, all of a sudden there's no vacancy. Hello, Chemo Cole. George says, can Britt's team prove he is unfit to be in charge of the sea ship? I mean, I don't know if they can or can't. That will be a question of fact for a jury or the judge to decide. Most likely the judge. I'm not exactly sure how the procedure goes. But in order to do that, they're probably going to have to go to trial. And in order to go to trial, what's going to have to happen is, Sam is going to have to be able to incorporate or associate these other lawyers from Loeb and Loeb, which he is trying to get the judge to decide on tomorrow. Lisa said the interesting petition is going to be the petition to remove James. I know, I cannot wait to see that petition. It hasn't been filed yet, but we assume that it's coming. We have a question for Lisa from Cooperstition. Lisa, do you think the judge in this case is corrupt, or what is your take on her rulings in the past? Oh, I think I can actually guess what Lisa's going to say. I think Lisa's going to say that this judge is not corrupt, but she does have a tendency to just do whatever the court-appointed attorney says to do. But I do want to hear Lisa's answer. Can they prove, based on Sam's review of accounting? He hasn't done anything with that accounting yet. He's just said that he plans to file objections. Lisa said, this is what is going to put Sam in an interesting position. What is going to put Sam in an interesting position? The fact that he's going to, the request to remove Jamie is going to put him in an interesting position, Lisa? Has there been a petition to remove James Spears? No, there has not. Hey, does public pressure impact the case? The new groove, that's a good question. I mean, I think that anytime lawyers, and this is my opinion, I think that anytime lawyers, and especially a judge, knows that they're working on a high-profile, highly publicized case, they do take slightly, this is just my opinion, I'm just speculating, but I think that it is likely that they take more precautions and are more precise about how they apply and interpret and argue the law. So I think that in that way, public pressure can impact the case. But I don't think that public pressure is going to make a judge make a completely different ruling than what is otherwise proper to make, especially in a case like this. So I guess it just depends, the degree to which you're asking, if it can impact. Lisa says, 100% right. Not corrupt, but will do what Sam tells her to do. And Sam has been in favor. Okay. Of James for 12 years over Britney's objections. What changed? Good. Yeah. Okay. The court filings feel like open letters to fans now, Free Britney LA said. Yeah, the new groove. I think there's less chance of corruption in general, but because we do have someone like Lisa who knows, and has argued cases in front of this very judge before, I will, kind of take Lisa's word, that Judge Penny is not, necessarily, a corrupt judge, but she just kind of, does what the lawyers tell her to do, the court-appointed lawyers. Yeah. So, Free Britney LA, Kevin says, the court filings feel like open letters to fans now. So, yes, they are responding to public pressure. So, yeah, I mean, they are adapting and conforming their behaviors and their filings and their language they use and their exhibits they attach and stuff like that. They are doing that as seemingly as a direct result of public pressure. But I do not believe or think that that necessarily means Judge Penny is about to make a completely different decision one way or the other. If she was corrupt, she's just about to be corrupt. That's my opinion. But again, I don't think, I think we can be optimistic that she's not going to be corrupt because she does know people are watching and that she has to do the right thing. Lisa said public pressure is important. It's the only thing that moves politicians to look at how broken the probate court is. That is a good point too. Oh, hey, Daphne. What are you doing here? Am I on the right account? Yo, my friend from high school, Daphne, is here. Daph M90. Oh my God. I was just thinking about you the other night. Me and Daphne got voted in high school. Like, we had like silly senior superlatives instead of like most likely to succeed. We had these silly ones. And I got like most likely to get in a car accident, and she got like most likely to break a limb or something. Or maybe we had it like backwards. But each of us were in second place for the other one. So like she got second place for most likely to get in a car accident, and I had second for most likely to break a limb or whatever. And now we're like two of the most accomplished people from our class. So take that, Port Allen High School. Okay, done with that. How can the court deem Ingham's statements on behalf of Britt? But for years, Ingham filings have been attributed to Britt and media articles. How can the court... I don't know that the court did deem it hearsay. Did they, the Malai Lama? Lisa said, I also think Judge Penny is aware of the communications with the AG's office. She knows. Ooh, that's good. So Lisa's saying, like, there's more than one way to address this problem. And one of the ways to address the problem is how we're doing it through court and, you know, through Judge Penny and all of that. Another way to address the problem is to get the legislature, which is the people who make the laws, to notice all of the corruption and the broken system that we are really dealing with in the California probate world and the conservatorship world. So public pressure helps those politicians to notice more of this corruption, and that helps a lot. So the public pressure has kind of two ways of helping. Daphne said, and it happened. We did break limbs and get in wrecks. So they were right whenever they voted us those things. Not just the PLL, the whole world. Sorry, Ashton Shane, the AG, means the Attorney General. It's like the highest ranking attorney in each state. And we also have an Attorney General at the national federal level as well. We have to check Ingham on our side, so we're on the right track. We have Ingham on our side, so we're on the right track. I agree, Monica. Oh, new picture, Monica. Looks good. You look like you're ready to go somewhere that is sunny and nice. Britney wants restraining order against Lefty and media articles. Oh, right. Yeah. Did the court actually deem those statements as hearsay? Leanne, are you still here? Did the court say that it was hearsay? Oh, Lisa said, do you understand that Sam's reports are not lawful and Sam will be deposed? Oh, that will be fun. No, I have absolutely no idea. I had no idea until right now that those were unlawful and that he would be deposed. So how is that going to work whenever he's a witness and, you know, he's going to have to step down, right, Lisa? All written declarations are hearsay. Even if they're signed, like, under penalty of perjury and under oath and stuff like that, Lisa? Leanne said, I think Jamie's lawyers have to please their case and explain how they think it's hearsay before. Okay. So Leanne said Jamie's lawyers are going to have to tell the judge why they think that Sam talking on behalf of his client is hearsay. So the judge wants them to actually make that argument. A deposition would come during the trial. Perhaps that's what... So, Violet, a deposition would come during a period called discovery, which happens before the trial. And it's where you have to kind of sit down with the other side's lawyers and answer questions that might be relevant to the case. Oh, the AG sent Monica, 19770, a letter and said Britney's conservatorship is not in his jurisdiction. Excuse me, that is rude. Yes, it is. What do you mean? All declarations made out of court are hearsay, Lisa said. James' attorneys are smart. They see the conflict that Sam will have. And Lisa, did you also see that in this particular declaration that Geraldine filed? She also said that she was, let me get to the part. She said she was willing like, if she was called as a witness, she could competently testify. Does that mean she also could run the risk of being a witness to a trial that she is also representing? I get the legal aspect of all this, but it really feels so bizarre that no one actually knows what Britney thinks or wants for herself. No, I agree, Violet. Didn't they say Britney speaking? Okay, so Eric93 said, didn't they say Sam speaking on behalf of Britney was hearsay? Lisa's saying it is hearsay. There is no exception that allows Sam's reports to be admissible evidence. Britney Hiatus said Monica sent that letter to us. Lisa McCarley said that Geraldine could, in fact, be called as a witness also, just like Sam. So if that happens, then it may create a conflict of interest that she may not be able to be a witness and also serve as the attorney on this case anymore, or at least as it pertains to that particular issue that she testifies as a witness. It gets very confusing, and evidence is like my weakest subject, so like these are not probably like the most spot on answers, but this is just my understanding. They both got to step down. It could be the case that they both have to step down. Yeah. At least as it pertains to this particular issue. And Brad said he believes it is in the best situation for Britney to speak and say exactly what she wants to end all hearsay. Yeah, I think there's also like rumors that, or, common knowledge, I guess, among a lot of fans that Britney doesn't really like to be involved in the court stuff. She doesn't like to go and testify, and she doesn't really like to be involved in it. And I mean, that's fine. Like, lots of people don't. That doesn't mean anything. Like, lots of people just want the lawyers to take care of it. So it'll be interesting to see if Britney does show up and say what she actually wants. Lisa is saying the difference, Eric, is that Geraldine Wyle, I think, declarations may not be relevant, but for sure Sam's are going to be relevant. So it seems like Geraldine and Gerald are keying up to kind of try to get Sam disqualified from continuing on this case once he serves as a witness. Because basically he keeps filing these reports that are like written declarations that are hearsay. So if you present hearsay, then that opens the door to allow the other side to question you. Like, how do you know that? Like, why are you saying this? This is all hearsay. These are allegations. Prove to us how you know this. That's going to allow them to sit down and ask him those questions. And once he becomes a witness in that way, he may not be able to continue serving on this case because of a conflict of interest. Eric said could be that Ingham is planning on Loeb and Loeb to just take over when he does step down to testify. That's possible. Is it confirmed she will have her own lawyers finally? Sorry, I was late. That is set to be heard tomorrow, but sorry, Ricardo Ardio. It is actually not going to be Britney's own lawyers. It's going to be lawyers that Sam Ingham basically directs to help him. Again, that might not actually even get decided on tomorrow, but no, I mean, technically speaking, Britney's only lawyer is Sam Ingham right now. Loeb and Loeb should ask to work directly with Britney, Lisa said, or else they will also have a conflict. Right. Okay, good. You actually predicted or preempted what I was thinking, which is the way that Sam describes the relationship of Loeb and Loeb with the case is almost as if they were going to act as Sam's advisors instead of acting directly as Britney's lawyers. What Lisa's saying is, if they want to make sure that this isn't going to put all of them in the hot seat of perhaps having to leave for conflict of interest, they do need to be able to speak directly with Britney, is what Lisa seems to be saying. Sam wants to control the narrative, Lisa said. Yeah, I agree. It seems like he wants to keep what information he wants out. He wants to be the one to leak it, and otherwise he doesn't want the information out. This is giving me anxiety. I'm getting nervous. James' lawyers are on here and getting ideas. Listen, if I was in a conservatorship case, I would hire Lisa immediately because I would not want to be against her. She knows everything before it happens. I mean, I would hire her because she seems like obviously the best and the most qualified, but I would never want Lisa on the other side of the aisle of me. It's a compliment. She says she's known Sam for over 20 years. Wow. So she's got Sam's number. Literally got Sam's number. Leanne. So what's the point of a court advocate if all of their advocacy in court is just technically hearsay? Yeah, no, I mean, in conservatorship cases, that is a good question. It kind of does raise the question, like, if I do see how it's hearsay because it is an out-of-court statement, you know, offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted. But when you have a conservatee who is considered to be legally incompetent for most purposes, who does get to speak on? I mean, does anyone get to speak on their behalf? Is anything admissible? Like, if that person shows up in court and speaks, is that admissible? I don't really know the answers to that, but someone does. I mean, someone out there knows. Probably Lisa knows. What we want is justice for Britney. I agree. We love you, Lisa. Is Sam able to present facts that fans uncover? Sam's able to present any relevant facts that will help him make his case once, like, litigation and stuff starts. So if fans uncover a fact and it somehow does make its way to Sam and it's relevant to the case and it's material and, you know, could affect the outcome of the case and it's otherwise admissible, you know, if it's inadmissible for some evidentiary reason, no, he can't. But just because, you know, a fan is the one who originated the material does not mean he cannot present it. So he could technically present something that a fan found if everything else was in line. If they would just... Okay, Lisa said she's capable of speaking for herself. I've watched hours of video. She is very capable of telling the judge what she wants. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. That helps. Someone saying, Mama of Dolls saying, if they would just audit this file, they would dismiss James. Yeah, I know. I think actually someone technically does have to still file to get rid of him. The documentary about conservatorship stated that conservatories are not allowed to attend their own hearings, only their attorneys. Kit, is that California or was that Nevada? Because each state can have different rules, and I honestly don't know. It's not a rhetorical question. Thanks, Lisa. So many of us are following along but confused. Is she legally allowed to? Yeah, it seems like she is allowed to, and she is capable, according to Lisa. The press in Spain, Soy Ricardo is saying, by the way, the Free Britney Network is getting a global impact. The press there in Spain is covering the latest hearings. That is amazing. It's so bizarre that she can't, in a way that we can be completely sure it's 100% her. I agree, Violet. It's really just a weird situation. I missed your lives, Alejandro. Thank you. Makes me feel better. I thought that, honestly, there's so many things going wrong. Because Lou's suit against fans using Britney's money to get James into trouble. I don't understand the question. Lisa said the Conservatees are now required to attend court. I won an appeal on that very issue. Yes, ma'am. Conservatees are now required to attend court. She said she won an appeal on that very issue. Oh my goodness, Lisa. Viva España, yay. What's your best guess as to why Sam and Britney haven't filed to remove Jamie? They may be waiting, Paloma, Sparks, they may be waiting to file to remove Jamie until they have litigators on board. They may be waiting for that's my best guess. Go, Lisa. Felicia said, why did he say he was speaking for her because she legally wasn't allowed? Is that not true? Maybe I missed another document. I'll have to go back through and read when he said he was speaking for her because she's legally not allowed. I either read it or missed it. Lisa said the Nevada scandal revealed that the law was not being followed. Bobby is saying, good job, Lisa. That's amazing. Glad you fought for the Conservatees to be able to attend their hearings. Sam was wrong on the law. Okay. So Lisa is answering the question that we just asked, which was, why was Sam saying he had to speak on behalf of Britney because she's legally not allowed to, blah, blah, blah. Lisa's saying he was wrong. And listen, this happens. Lawyers are wrong on the law all the time. Judges sometimes are even wrong on the law. So Sam was wrong, according to Lisa, on the law. People were suspicious that Lou paid Sidley to sue fans using Britney's money. Yeah, I think that the Malai Lama, I think that's actually like a pretty well-founded suspicion based on all the circumstances. Well, someone needs to update Sam Ingham on this. Well, it'll probably get updated soon, huh? Lisa, do the videos you've watched seem consistent with Britney's Instagram behavior? Do you agree she seems off in the recent videos? Lisa said there's no rule against a conservatee, which would be Britney, filing a declaration. And so a declaration filed by Britney would still technically be considered hearsay. But if I'm understanding this correctly, it at least would not have opened Sam up to the possibility of sitting there and getting deposed, which makes him a witness, which makes him have a conflict of interest in the case, and he may not be able to continue doing the case. Okay, Leanne said that Sam had said he was speaking for Britney at the last hearing. He said that verbally in court. He did not say it in the document. Okay. What are those stickers on your keyboard? I always get this question. It's actually like a cover. I need to get a new one because like I've worn this one out now. But it's like keyboard shortcuts. So if you press like, like yellow and red and this, then like it'll, it's basically keyboard shortcuts. So I don't have to remember them. Sam is trying to control the narrative. $10,000 a week. He should know the damn law. That is true. I'm getting paid $0 a week, so it's okay that I don't know the law. I'm just kidding. I think we have to be super critical of him and Jody in this process. I agree, Violet. If Sam is on the right side right now, is it bad that he's trying to control the narrative? Well, I mean, if he's on the right side right now jumping trains, it doesn't necessarily mean he always has been. So he may have information that is not flattering or good to him that we may need for the case. So it's like if he's trying to control the narrative, it just begs the question, why is he trying to control the narrative? You know what I mean? It could be no bad reason at all. It could just be have control issues, but could be something more sinister. We don't know. Lisa said she is suspicious about his attempt to be Loeb and Loeb's client. Oh, because maybe he's seeking some type of cover his you-know-what for his past actions, Lisa? And Lisa said he should know how to take depositions for making $10,000 a week. I agree. Paloma Sparks says, damn straight, we gotta keep our healthy skepticism about him. Eric93, you think it is to cover his tracks? Could be, yes. Lisa said Britney can file a declaration. Let's get Britney to file this damn declaration. Bobby James X said, Lisa, if they remove Jamie and make Jody her permanent conservator, is there a possibility that she and Sam could isolate her from her family in courts to actually remove the conservatorship? BK Style said he's not suspicious. He thinks Loeb and Loeb is a strategic move to help get Jamie out. Once he's out, I think she will file for termination. Okay, I've also seen that theory. Also, BK Style 13. I don't really exactly know what I think. I kind of just take my cues from y'all. Again, someone sent Britney a damn carrier pigeon. That person who claimed to bump into her should have slipped her a note. Violet Wolf, Leanne said she'll do it. I'm suspicious of Jody because Britney is not allowed to say anything about a conservatorship on Instagram. Yeah, I'm suspicious of Jody too because of that Britney's Grand podcast I heard about her on Free Roger episode. Because she was corrupt and hasn't fought for Britney's freedom until there was public outcry. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, y'all. Well, this was a really fun live. And I think we're all caught up now. So I think I'll be doing a podcast on Timo Spears' podcast coming up soon. So that'll be exciting. And also soon I have a special guest who's going to come and do an Instagram live with me on constitutional issues. And whenever he comes to do that, we're going to talk about due process and equal protection and how, those type of rights are supposed to work. And maybe a little bit of how, they didn't necessarily go that way with Britney's conservatorship. So that'll be coming up in the next few weeks. My friend, he's been a lawyer for like 3 years, so he actually knows like a little more than me, so that'll be fun. And I will see y'all later. Talk to you later. Bye.